Hi, my name is Felipe Riveros, and I, with my partner Vicente Arana, will be presenting to you the process analysis paragraph. First of all, what is a paragraph? A paragraph had a structure which had a beginning, a middle, and an end, and is a short piece of writing which is preceded by sentences, the words, and the morphemes. And as it says, a good paragraph is like in the example that we have here.
With paragraph, first of all, we have to make sure how many types of them there are. We have the descriptive paragraph, which is, as the title implies, a paragraph that describes something. This one is pretty unique in the case that we can accept some kinds of subjectiveness when it comes to describing something in this paragraph. Next, we have the narrative paragraph, which basically it tells a story, okay, with a beginning, a middle, and an end. Next, we have the persuasive paragraph, in which this is the most famous in schools and universities, because it's basically the paragraph that makes an argument, and you have to make statements and arguments that other people can make their own and contradict them with each other. And the last one, which is arguably the most important one in this presentation, would be the expository paragraph, otherwise known as the processes analysis paragraph, which basically entails some kind of information and the sequence of events that basically not tell a story, but make sure to imply the instructions of what you need to do.
Now, in more deep, the process analysis paragraph, as my partner says, is one of the most important in this presentation. This process analysis paragraph separates the events that occurred in the paragraph by an chronological order, which explains a sequence of or a process, and also present facts and details in the same chronological order. Also use time words or phrases, and the end always have a specific result.
Next, we have organizing a process analysis paragraph. By this, we mean that, as I said previously, you have to make sure the components of the paragraph are in a chronological order, because of the nature of the paragraph. If something isn't in the right order, the whole paragraph might not be able to be understood as well. Okay? And with this, we have language focus, which is basically transition words, which basically entails some types of words that can be useful to specify the time of what an instruction must do inside the paragraph, which my classmate is going to go into detail.
As my partner says, language focus is one of the most important parts of the process analysis paragraph. These transition words help to the development of the chronological sequence of events of the paragraph. And as an example that are shown here, we have some important transition words such as first, followed by second, third, and etc. And also the last step, and finally, which marks the beginning and the end of the paragraph. Also, we have in the middle such transitions words such as then, in addition, before, after, when we need to make a more descriptive sequence of events at the middle of the paragraph.
When it comes to writing a paragraph, you have to follow certain guidelines for it to be appropriate. First of all, we have to choose a topic which is actually useful as a paragraph, because not all information can be transferred as this type of paragraph, because it can't be too much information and it can't be too little. It has to be just the right amount to be able to be transferred correctly and to be able to be understood in an appropriate manner. Choose a topic, write some notes about the steps and the process. This is to help organize them so they are easier to understand. Write a topic sentence with controlled ideas, basically the same thoughts, the same train of thought as the last point. And write supporting sentences that give the steps in chronological order. Use transition words to show that the steps are in the correct order. This is basically how we mix every component of the paragraph and the instructions and the elements. The timing, it's very important. This is all where it comes together to form what is the process analysis paragraph.
Then, to make an example of what a process analysis paragraph should be, we have an example that we took from the internet, that is how to make a jam sandwich. Something pretty easy to understand by many of us, but it has all the things that a process analysis paragraph should have, such as the transition words that are completely necessary in the chronological order of the sequence of events in a process paragraph analysis. And we have all the sequence of events and a final result that is presented at the end of the paragraph. Then we have the following example, which is a cook recipe to how to make good rice, which is also a good example of how a process analysis paragraph should be. By not being repetitive, it also have the transition words that are completely necessary in the sequence of events in order to make a good chronological order, with also some of the middle terms that are also necessary to add more information to the paragraph, to the sequence of events, and finally to get the result that we must have.
Okay, lastly, this is an example that we made ourselves to show that any kind of information can be able to transfer in a good manner, but not everyone. Not everything. First of all, there's the transitional words, as well as then you must record a video in which you explain the topic that the teacher gave to you. This is basically to show variety, because this paragraph, it's very flexible in the ways that you can use it. You can make it for instructions, or you can make it so to follow a certain topic or some form of events, like cooking, for example. It's the most recognizable amount of instructions you have to follow. It also applies with school work, which is basically a way to say that this paragraph, it's basically in our everyday lives, and we see it every day, we read it every day, but we are not aware of it because we just accept it as a part of our lives and as a part of our grammar, which is really interesting in our opinion. That was our presentation. Thanks for watching.